Our Father's peace to everyone who catches this message. It's time for a party. Gonna wait a few minutes and let some people come into the room and we'll get started. Got a few things to say today, and I don't know if we're gonna take the whole 2 hours. I don't know if I've got that kind of energy in me right now. So we'll start off with a greeting. Our Father's peace to everyone who catches this message. Yahweh Shalom Barak. Allahu Assalamu Alaikum. I'm running on fumes, people. My stomach's gnawing on my backbone. We get together at 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time daily, except for on Saturdays or Shabbat. On Sundays, we get together and have Q&A sessions. For the other 10 days out of a 14-day period, we have 10 special interest groups where we speak on perspectives of organic marketing strategies. Today's special interest group is Ground Floor Intellect. Pardon me. Shalom. I see someone in YouTube land. Shalom, Akati. We just now came on. Don't know how long I'm going to be on today. I'm running on fumes. Stomach's on my backbone right now. And prayerfully, as soon as I end this live, I'm going to go and get some food. um, so, yeah, today we are going to be talking about ground floor intellect and organic marketing strategies with the perspective of exploration. Today's title for the party is, well, I have a couple of them actually. First title: Never get too comfortable when you are a prisoner, when you are at war. And the second one: Be prepared. See, I see about 19 people in YouTube land. I understand about the slump mode. I truly do understand. Um, I've actually been running through taking care of a lot of business. However, no, I haven't been at my most energetic. Quinoa and tomato sauce was dinner last night. With ground floor intellect, we are talking about the foundation of Highest Heights Studio. I was going to start off with a joke. However, I'm just going to keep it straight and plain with you. It's time for a pop quiz. Get your handy dandy notebooks out and number from 1 to 10. Start at the top. You can skip a space if you want to. That's on you. Number from 1 to 10. Pop quiz. Be prepared. Never be comfortable. Nobody told us it was going to be a pop quiz. Well, it's Friday. What do you expect? On the Roman calendar, it's Friday. On the Hijra calendar, it's Juma. For those who are practicing and learning to be Hebrew, it's the day before Shabbat until you learn the Avra calendar, because we actually mark time by the position of the sun, the moon, and the stars on any given day or night, because we have written records that have been around for eons, and that's hundreds of thousands of years, not just a couple of thousand, not 8,000, not 10,000, eons. Same record shows same patterns, regardless of what we see within our lifetimes or even within a third of our lifetimes. When we remark on how we think, oh, the world is really changing, what we have to remember is how long the world has been around. We are the blink of an eye compared to how long creation has been around. It's amazing to me how people think they can define life just from their fleeting moment of experience. So, why are we numbering from 1 to 10? Well, actually, the homework's on you. I want you to list 10 things that run through your mind all the time: problems, things you're thankful for, random thoughts that just sometimes make you wonder, things that make you ponder, things that make you really take in life. I want you to write down 10 things. Do you ever review your work? Every time I do one of these broadcasts, I go back and I watch it, not because I'm a narcissist. Number one, trade secret, I go and I watch the YouTube broadcast from a different profile so that it will gain at least one view. And yes, being partial to self, I do like when I watch it. So I go ahead and click like. Now, the thing is, even though I have different YouTube profiles, when I click share, it's going to go to all of the different platforms that are already registered. So if I'm watching a YouTube video and I click share and it tells me you have the option to share on Facebook newsfeed, oh yeah, I can click yes. And then when you see whatever I've shared, it doesn't matter what profile it came from. I'm sharing the link. So now, just by myself, I have created traffic. There's a play going on, there's a like, and there's a share. Right now, I have around maybe 157, maybe 180, I don't know, people who subscribe to the Angelic Discipline channel. It didn't come overnight. I tell you, I remember when it was just 18 people. I didn't know once I got to 50 that I could go live. Had no idea at all because I was plugging along and doing other things. And so by the time I did realize, I think I may have had 60 subscribers. And even to this day, whether I have 150 or 180, there are not 180 subscribers who watch me full time. There are five. Now, there are people who are not registered as subscribers who come along on a regular basis, not just for the lives. They check out the shorts and they check out all of the other things that I've posted up beforehand because I've only just now started doing live broadcasts. It's barely been 2.5 months. There's a lot of power in uploading your content way before you get to broadcasting live status. There are a lot of statements you can make. You can go through your list of 10 every couple of weeks, every couple of days. Do you review your work? Yesterday, I made two bold statements. And with one of them, I need to give you a little bit more information. It was hard in my mind to try and figure out another platform to use where you have direct communication with your audience, as well as being able to do short videos and long form videos that are over 10 minutes and still have the capability to type in 3,000 characters at least for your details in your post. I forgot to mention LinkedIn. Are you on LinkedIn? Are you active on LinkedIn? You see, there's some people on LinkedIn scratching their heads trying to figure out how come Highest Heights Studio is not hiring? How come Highest Heights Studio is not asking to be hired? Why is it that Highest Heights Studio keeps coming in and every time somebody posts up something about how a boss tells people what to do and then a leader works with the people, how come whenever Highest Heights answers that or reposts it, it has something to do with entrepreneurship? Why is it that Highest Heights Studio keeps posting all this stuff about religion and culture? A few years back, I was at a Chamber of Commerce meeting back when people were just getting into using LinkedIn. And you know what it is? Oh, I'm sure you can. I'm sure you can place and locate exactly what's going on with your barometer. I'm sure you can. Um, but yeah, so I was at this Chamber of Commerce meeting, and everybody was kind of mumbling under their breath, because nobody liked Twitter even back then. You get on there, and all these highly opinionated people want to say all these things, and you don't have much room to say what you really want to say anyway. Got somewhere between 150 and 250 characters somewhere. Not a whole lot of room, so if you want to say something, you got to mean it. So they were already grumbling about Twitter. What do you think about this LinkedIn? They ought to keep religion and politics out of the workspace, including LinkedIn, because we're just supposed to be posting about corporate culture. So me and LinkedIn, I like to visit there. I haven't in probably 2 or 3 days prior to my phone shutting down and resetting. And so it has slipped in my mind. Now, isn't that something? You get into your reflexes of what you do and your routines. That's why there's a lot of times I can just list off stuff, is because I'm just giving you the itinerary of my day, right? So normally, yes, LinkedIn would be one of the sites that I would go and share a link to. Whatever you see on Facebook, yeah, it's on LinkedIn too, right? If you type in hashtag 3PROJH, if you type in hashtag highest height studio, if you type in hashtag DJ microwave 5KW, you will see. There are times where you might type in hashtag find Kofi or hashtag SOC. You will see. All right. So, number one, when I went back to review, I caught that I missed an opportunity to let you all know. Please use LinkedIn so that you can share your list of 10 theses. Who remembers in history when they were telling us about Martin Luther? Not Martin Luther King, Martin Luther. The guy that went and knocked on the church door and they wouldn't let him in and wouldn't answer. So he went back and he hung up a note, nailed it to the door. Talk, talk, talk. 10 theses. This is why I have a problem with you because these 10 things. So, yes, keep that in mind. I was not playing when I said that. Yes, you have homework. 10 theses. Second thing, I mentioned that all cells, all living organisms require light. So, someone who would call themselves book smart or even just being a smart aleck would come back and ask, but what about the animals that live underground or the ones who live in deep cave systems? I'm glad you asked because I asked myself that. I asked myself that right when I was making the statement. Do all animal cells need sunlight? Do all plant cells need sunlight? Well, yes, they do. You know why and how? Because the human eye only picks up a certain spectrum of light. Spectrum goes beyond our perception. There are animals and plants that live in the darkness who still absorb those solar rays. If you think about something real simple, a rock sitting in the sun gets warm because the sun is hitting it. We are on one giant rock. I don't care if a person wants to tell you that it's a round rock. I don't care if a person wants to tell you it's a flat rock. We are on a rock. There's water, there's vegetation. Some say there's a molten core in the middle. There's something in the middle because we have volcanoes. I'm not here to argue all of that. What I'm saying, though, is as powerful as the sun is, and it can emit rays that go so far out. You ever stood in front of a fire and felt the front part of your body be warm, and then you turn your body around to warm up the other side, and you notice that the rest of the room is warm. Not as warm as what you're trying to do with your body, but the rest of the room is warm. Fire emits heat along with the light that you see, because also you can turn around and see the other side of the room due to the fire. So, yes, plants and animals that are underground or even within deep, dark caves, dirt does not stop sun rays. All right, so that's review right there. And it should be something that you should take a little note from whenever you post up anything, because sometimes you might just want to go back for a spell check or a grammar check. Always review your work. And then when you have the opportunity, you can start the like and share process. Because, yes, you can have multiple profiles. Once you get things going, you should have one profile that's specifically for business anyway, one email specifically for that. So, for the nine that I told you about, you have one profile over here that's your personal profile where you do what you do. You talk to your family, you talk to your friends, you do all of that kind of thing. Now, when it comes down to business, no, you don't have to associate that email and that name the same way. You hear people tell you all the time, oh, you can have a social security number and then you can have a EIN number. What's an EIN number? Well, that's another tax code number that you can use instead of your social security. And you use that tax code number as an employment identification number. You can use that for whenever you go and work for someone, or you can use that as the assigned number over your business and company. If that's the case, then you can do the same when you are registering to these stores, to these streaming services, and to these telecommunications platforms. It puts you on a different level when you are approaching these platforms that way. There's a difference between a consumer and a producer. A producer walks into a store that offers 1,000 things and he says, I want one thing. I'm going in there for one thing. Goes to the section where those things are, finds the best quality, not the lowest price, the best quality, not the highest price, the best quality, because a producer plans to use it as a tool, not gathering for commodities. Either gonna feed my body or you're gonna feed my livelihood. That's all they got to do with ground floor intellect. Most people consider applying for employment, you have to walk into this building where you're at the bottom floor. So, what do you do when you're on the ground floor? You need to show some intellect. And I've given you forewarning. It's not just my personality. The circle that I run with, we are snarky. No, we're not smart Alex. We're not disrespectful. We are snarky. So if you say something to us and it doesn't ring right, oh, you will have a retort coming your way. Because yes, we are thinking individuals and we are motivated to move kind of individuals. Matter of fact, we've moved around 1,000 times before you thought to get up kind of individuals. To some people, today is Friday. To some people, today is Juma. If you sat on the couch with the individual whose you call it brainchild, whose idea for ground floor intellect, if you sat on the couch with him and I, most of you in my audience would run away, not because of our presence. It would be the music that we listen to. We enjoy listening to a band called Neurosis. The screaming guitars, the heavy bass, the rapid drums, the screaming vocals, the growling vocals would probably drive you away. And I would just be sitting back, enjoying myself, mellow, relaxed, at peace. The band is called Neurosis for a reason. If you listen to what they're talking about, you will understand why they are screaming. They have 10 things they want to tell you about. That's just one of many bands. I really couldn't play the soundtracks to what would be on the speakers when you walk into ground floor Intellect. I can't play that for you right now. Physically can't because I don't have anything with me. It's just me, you, and this phone. The point is this though. Never think that you're comfortable. Never expect to be comfortable, even when you're asleep. There's one great big sleep, and even that's not a comfortable sleep because it's not over. Still got to wake up and face the music, face the light, talk to the one who made you. So no, there's no reason to think that you can really get comfortable. I'm always on edge. Like you might not know it, you might not realize it. I don't tell everybody that. No, I'm not agitated to the point where it's a nervous condition. I don't have a neurosis about it. I'm on edge because I was born into a world that is anti my makeup. I'm on edge because every time I open my eyes and start a day, I have a battle to be present for. I have to check my pocket to make sure I got a few stones in my pocket. Am I ready? Every day. My brother Pete or Joe, because both of those are his names, he has a certain way of talking and thinking. And it doesn't necessarily line up with what you might hear inside of a masjid or mosque. Masjid would be where you would go to study and make worship. Mosque would be what you would just call a temple, where people just gather together and pray, make salat, go through prostrations, do namaz, Namaz. Namaz, when you see them standing up and then bowing and then getting down to their knees and tapping their head onto the floor. Namaz, that's prostrations. So now Joe wouldn't necessarily hang out in a mosque. That doesn't say that, oh, it discredits him from being a servant for our creator. Because as scuzzy in appearance as a person may look, you should not discount their heart, their mind, and their willing soul. Can't go by appearances. Ground floor intellect. What if you walked into the lobby of a place and there's a guy sitting there in a leather office chair with his feet up on who knows what? And that's all that's there. It's not one of those big brown semicircles or anything. It's not a podium. It's just a guy sitting in a leather high back office chair with his feet up. And the one thing you notice is that there is some very loud heavy metal music going on. And he's just kicked back with his fingers crossed across his chest, happy and satisfied. Now, there's not really any cussing going on in the music. They're not talking about anything very vulgar. They're not being um, overly sexual. They're not talking about violence. They're talking about how ill society can be. So you can't complain about what they're saying. The most you can do is complain because you might not like the sounds. And that's fine. And then the guy looks at you and he asks you, how can I help you? And you tell him, well, yeah, I came to ground floor and intellect because I'm trying to find my place within society, within the community. And I was told I was supposed to go and talk to these people at Highest Heights Studio because somewhere along the lines, there's the stop program. Joe will look at you and he'll ask you, is your mind free? Are you actually independent? And are you willing to practice DIY techniques? If any of that stuff sounds foreign to you, you probably need to turn around, go back outside, take 10 deep breaths, turn around and try it again. Are you independent? Are you willing to be interdependent with others? And are you willing to practice DIY concepts? So I mentioned the mosque because no, Joe probably won't be at the mosque and he probably won't recite things to you in Arabic. Joe will tell you about some life lessons that will sound similar to things that you've heard from theological records. But these life lessons and experiences that he's telling you about are things that he saw for himself, lived for himself, wore the bruises, wore the lashes, got the cuts, saved someone else from it. Someone else saved him from it. So yeah, he's laid back and he's watching you, even to the point of you walking outside to catch your 10 deep breaths and come back in. He's still watching. And he's not judging you. He's waiting for you to make up your mind. Because the second you tell him what your agenda is, then he can point you in the right direction. Joe is chilling. All right. What's that got to do with Muslims and mosques? There's a certain study that you're supposed to do. And on what they call Friday, on the Roman calendar, we have Juma for Sunni Muslims and most Muslims. And there's a story behind why Friday is chosen as the day for everyone to get together. The Imam recites a surah, gives a teaching moment, and everybody in the community actually makes prostrations together. On Friday, we are to report to the nearest mosque. Once we get to the mosque, we are supposed to do 2 rak'ah. That is two of those prostrations I was talking about. You see them stand up, you see them bow halfway down, you see them stand up again, you see them get down to their knees, touch their head to the floor. Do that twice. That's 2 rak'ah. After you've done that on your own, everybody gets together, sit down, you wait. The imam gets in front of everyone. He says his khutbah, his message for the day. Then afterwards, he does 2 rak'ah and leads the community in prayer. Afterwards, you shake hands with each other as you leave the mosque. when we have these live sessions, there's a lot of times where I repeat a certain surah, and it's the one that you will hear me say in English because I don't know it in Arabic yet. I've written out the transliteration. That's how to enunciate it. Now, writing out the characters themselves is a different level. I've made a pledge to self that when the dust settles a little bit more, I will get into my studies because there are some that I have memorized and I can recite them in Arabic. However, I want to be able to sit down and read through the pages. Right now, I'm at the level of Prophet Muhammad, Allahu Sallallahu Wa Sallam, my Father's peace be upon him. I'm at his level because they said that he couldn't write the characters. That didn't stop him from knowing how to speak. He just couldn't write the stuff. So, does that make a person not intelligent just because they can't write the symbols? Now, that's not really the question to quandary at this moment. I just want you to understand how people can place someone somewhere without recognizing their true value. Because no, you don't go off of what you see. Trim my beard and all of that. I'm still me. And doesn't bother me to have all that stuff just frayed out. However, sometimes it's nice to have a trimmed up appearance. And my hair tends to grow. That's really why I cut it, just because of it's just too much. I go to sleep and when I wake up and my beard's all over the place, well, yeah, it's time to it's time to trim that on down because I'm not gonna brush it. I'm not gonna comb it. All of this stuff, I just let it grow. Man, how you grow your hair that long? It's just juices and batteries. Hardly that. It's can I have locks like Samson? Can I be strong like Samson? Can I move, walk, act like David? I got those things. Tada ba, shukran Allah, subhanahu wa ta'ala. All praises to our source of sustenance and mercy. Ameen. That happened. So there's a specific surah that I repeat quite often. The name of the surah is Wal Ashr. Wa al Ashr. It actually means by time. So today, what we're going to do is we're going to read the backstory, the reason why Surah Wa'al was revealed. Who in here is in their studies? Who in here has heard of the day of Asher? Underneath your list of 10, write that down. Day of Asher. Very important day. You will find that day mentioned in the Bible, in the Apocrypha, and the Quran. So here we go. We have a surah, Wa and Al. It's kind of like towards At. Usher. So even though it says by time is in parentheses. And towards Usher. Before we start, I'm gonna do a short prayer. Basmalah. In the name of our Father, we ask that the information that is about to be shared feeds us, our mind, our bodies, and our souls. Allah, I personally ask you to guide me whenever I deliver messages so that it is righteous and to your specifications. Please correct me at the moment or later so that I can also review with the people. I mean, hmm, no, it's a different one. Hashir is a different one. It's a lot longer. That's what made me stop to look. Nope. Ashura. It's not it either. I'm sure you're asking yourself, how come you don't know where it is? Al Isra. Because, no, I don't know this like the back of my head, like some people know their Bibles. Doesn't work that way. I don't know the Bible like the back of my head. I know where things are, and I know certain stories, and I can tell you them. But no, I can't tell you specific names of books and chapters and immediately go to them or anything like that. No. It's really funny because I just went through basically the table of contents where it actually has the synopsis of each of the surah. And that's what made me raise my eyebrows. I was seeing the different ones because this particular surah is not very long. And I kept seeing all those different names. There it is. All right. Alhamdulillah. All praises to our Father. I mean, 872. All right. Okay. Here we go. I'm going to turn the camera on just for a second. Well, actually, I'll just turn it around while I'm reading, if you all don't mind. That way you can see what I see. Let's see if I can zoom the screen. That way I don't have to try to read through the book or through my phone. Shalom Akati Mavis. I just saw your message there. All right. So I can show you the screen, but I'm going to have to look over to the side of it. Well, actually, what I'm going to do, because it'll be a little bit uncomfortable, I won't be able to hold the screen steady. So I want you to see what it is I'm going to be reading. All right. And then from here, this is the actual surah. All right. So first, we're going to do a backstory so that you understand where all this is coming from. And then we'll do the actual verse. And for those paying attention, gave up the game. I'm sure you know which room I'm in now. Oh, that's the button I need. Okay. That's what I get for pushing buttons. Yeah. Now the phone is glitching just a little bit. Give me just a moment, all right? Let's get it reset. Just gotta love technology. We'll take this moment to reflect on the fact that we are rocking and rolling. I can see that the stream is on for both TikTok and YouTube. I'm in a whole completely different other screen right now. I can't see what's going on with the camera. We're rocking and rolling because we were rocking and rolling before the electric guitar. We were rocking and rolling. We have a counter again. All right. Let's see if we can get the camera to act right. Yes, we are rocking and rolling. We were rocking and rolling before the electric guitar. We were rocking and rolling before that boat that no one wants to talk about because we were already on boats, traveling, visiting, casting nets. Today's party, it's called Don't Get Comfortable When You're a Prisoner. When you're at war, don't get comfortable and be prepared. We get together 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time daily, except for on Shabbat. And then we use Sundays for the Q&A period. For the other 10 days out of 14-day period, or 2 weeks, we have 10 special interest groups. Today's special interest group is Ground Floor Intellect. We look at perspectives of organic marketing strategies. And today's perspective is exploration. Now, there's a reason why I want to read this excerpt for Surah Al Ashr. ASR is how it's spelled in Farsi, Persian, Arabic. ASR, Ashr. There's a reason that I've already given as far as this is a reminder of the same day of Asher that's being spoken of in the Bible, the same day of Asher that's being spoken of in the Apocrypha, which it appears again in the Quran, because the Quran is a reminder of the things spoken in the Bible, in the Apocrypha, what would be called the Torah. As a matter of fact, the Quran is a testament of what happened after a period of time after revelations had been published. Got a vision. And Yahasharael, get ready to rejoice, because here's this message. Get ready to rejoice. And then along comes someone who says, hey, for all these people over here, there are a couple who actually want to live righteously. They want to know the right way. And that also meant standing out of bounds with everybody else when the minority usurps the majority. Just because everybody else says that it's all right and that's the way does not mean it's the way. If I look at a sign over here that tells me do not cross at the crossing walk, I'm not going to listen to somebody say, oh, all crossing walks are safe to cross. No, they have a sign here for a reason. Zoom. Did you see that Mack truck that just went by from that blind corner that we couldn't tell what was going on? Maybe that's why we can't cross that crosswalk. I seen somebody do it the other day. Well, fine. I don't want to meet a Mack truck that way. The actual surah would be number 103 in the Quran. Period of revelation. Although scholars such as Mujahid, Qatada, and Muqatil regard it as a Medina surah, a great majority of the commentators are of the opinion that it is a Makki surah. So they're saying that this particular one came out before they traveled to Medina. Its subject matter also testifies that it must have been revealed during the early stage at Mecca, when the message of Islam was being presented in a brief but highly impressive way, so that the listeners who heard these verses once could not forget them, even if they wanted to, because these verses will be committed to memory right away. Major issue: divine law and guidance. The formula for the way to salvation is to become a believer, do good deeds, be truthful and patient, and advise the same to others. See, four people in YouTube land. Shalom Barak to all visitors. Can't see who all is in TikTok. Shalom Barak to all of you as well. Yahava Shalom Barak, our Father's peace and blessings to you. Allahu Assalamu alaikum, our Father's peace to you. This surah is a matchless example of comprehensiveness and brevity. A whole world of meaning has been compressed into its few brief words, which are too vast in content to be fully expressed even in a book. The way towards true success for mankind is clearly stated, as is the way towards ruin and destruction. Imam Shafi'i has said, if the people comprehend this surah well, it alone would suffice them as guidance. How important this surah was in the sight of the companions can be judged from the tradition cited from Sayyiduna Abdullah bin Hisan ad-Darimi Abu Madina, according to which, whenever any two of them met, they would not part company until they had recited Surah al-Asr to each other. This narration is taken from Tabarani, meaning there was a person who was writing this information, and that person's name is Tabarani. Tabarani. Names have meanings. Al-Asr. In the name of Allah, the Compassionate, the Merciful. By time, through the ages, surely mankind is in loss, except those who believe and do good deeds, exhort one another to the truth, and exhort one another to patience. Sounds a lot like the Beatitudes to me. And you're welcome to write that underneath your 10 theses and the day of Usher. Sounds a lot like the Beatitudes. There's a really big misconception about what it means to be a Muslim. Most people, if you tell them you're a Muslim, they're going to look at you like you're the most evil thing walking on earth. What if I told you there's a misconception about Christians? All praises to the Most High, Akati. All praises to the Most High. Some people think Christians are very evil. You say that you follow the ways of the Messiah, but the things that history reports you doing are not anything that the Messiah would do. The people were willing to hand over the Messiah and let his life be taken because he wasn't running around with a shield and a sword. They said they wanted a warrior king. Now we got all these folks running around here talking about how much they are warriors and how much they are here to take, kill, and destroy, and do it on a regular basis. Just because somebody says they are something does not mean they are the actual true representation. I'm very guarded when anyone runs up to me and says that they are anything, whatever it is. Because now that means I have to take you for your word. And the issue is, I don't know everything, but I know many things. And so if I can't identify you with the thing that you proclaim to be, we probably won't spend very much time around each other. Where I come from, they say you're selling wolf tickets if everything that you say is based on a lie. It's wolf tickets. Shepherds don't like wolves. Guess what? That really is how simple that particular revelation was. Now, it's saying that it happened before they left to go to Mecca. I mean, before they left to go to Medina. They were kicked out of Mecca because you had a whole bunch of people running around talking about they were religious authoritarians and they were not following the laws that had already been spoken of through Abraham and Moses. They were doing a whole lot of other things. So when Prophet Muhammad came along and said, hey, you can't be doing this, this is not the way. Let me tell you about what it is to be a Muslim and how to live your life in Islam. How dare you come with this new stuff? What is this? And then while they're listening, how dare you come with these stories about these shepherds from on the other side of the water? We are nomads of the Arabian Peninsula. Those stories have nothing to do with us. And so Muhammad had to remind them Abraham had a son named Ishmael who came and spent a lot of time with us and taught us the same ways of his father. You all are not doing the ways of Ishmael. They didn't like that. Muhammad and his companions, those who took the oath, those who he became so fond of and so close to that they became his family. Sahaba goes deeper than just saying we are promise keepers. We are family. We say that we serve the same master. We serve the same teacher. We serve the same provider. That's more than just a companion. A companion is somebody who walks down the street with you to go to the store because you're both going to the store at that particular time. Let me count these up. One, two. It's basically two sentences. One short sentence, and really that's just an exclamation. It's not a full sentence. And then after that, there's a compound sentence. By time, or by the time through the ages. Surely mankind is in loss, except those who believe and do good deeds, exhort one another to the truth, and exhort one another to patience. How hard is that? Really, the question is, how easy is that? How easy is that to remember? And how easy is that to do? I don't want mankind to be lost. So I need to practice to deeds amongst my fellow human beings so that we're not at a loss. And the more I do it, it's going to encourage someone else to do to deeds as well. Now we have a culture of doing to deeds. I don't have to wear a shirt that says to deeds. Don't have to have a certain shoe company called to deeds. Or do we need that? Is that what we need to do? For us to have some get right. Do we need a clothesline called Tabah Deeds? Do we need automobiles from a company called Tabah Deeds? Do we need food grown by Tabah Deeds? If you knew what goes on inside of my mind and the things that I have to squash sometimes. I see some messages coming in from our Kahalet. I'll have to check all that after we are finished. It's been an hour. Let's see here. I started around 15 minutes after the hour. And it's still going. There's messages going in the men's chat. So top of my screen is just steadily going blip, 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 blip. Why is it that they think Muslims are evil? Because the people who took over after Prophet Muhammad was assassinated, and then the person that they voted in to replace him was assassinated, and then his nephew. Well, the people that took over after all of that, they didn't walk with what Ishmael was talking about. The people that were the ruling class in Mecca that didn't like Muhammad and told him he had to leave and go to Medina, the ruling class didn't like him. And he was part of one of the families. There were 9 major families. 7 of them were the richest in the region. He was part of one of those families. That family name is Quraish. Quraish. And there's another way to spell it. Koraish. Who in this room's been doing their studies? Because I want to know who remembers the sons of Korah. Who remembers that some of them were spared? So there's a lineage of the sons of Korah. That's an interesting story in the Quran. Tomorrow is Sabbath. We have Q&A on Sunday. I might dig around in the Quran and find that story, share it with you. I might be mixing it up with the passage that I read in Joshua, though. Think about that as well. Jasher, Yasher. Yes, that name is also derived from Asher. It's all together. All of it is together. Now, I can't remember if the particular story that I'm thinking about, because I remember looking up uh, the story about when Moses came down from the mountain and Aaron was there waiting for him with his hands behind his back. Moses walked up and was ready to beat him into the ground because he could see all the stuff that was going on. Brushed past him, looked to make sure he wasn't crazy, went back to him. Man, what have you done since I've been gone? Now, this is a key point. Brother, it was not me. People get to doing whatever they want to do. And you know, when they decide that they want to act crazy, I said, okay, I tell you what, you do that over there. Do that over there. No, I didn't consecrate it. Yes, I did go ahead and show them how to get the materials together since they were so much in a rush to do it. And I also told them, while y'all are doing all y'all preparations and everything, Yahweh will have a feast tomorrow. Mm-hmm. It's in the story. So when they got to working on their golden calf, had it all fashioned up, and then they were ready to have their feast that next day. Down comes Moses from the mountaintop, and these people are out here just having a good old hoorah. Looks at his brother like, what's wrong with you? And what's wrong with them? They're breaking everything that I just came down this hill with. And oh, by the way, I'm borrowing that one. That line right there, I'm borrowing that from the brother I was speaking with yesterday. I will take that jewel and I will share it. Yes. Y'all are down here breaking every rule that I brought down here to show you. Now he who is of his right mind and does not want to partake in this, I need you to step over there. I need you to separate yourself from what's going on. And everybody else that's running around here in this blind state, they gotta go. Hey, draw your weapons. They have to go. That's in the story. And then there's another story where it says the earth opened up and swallowed the sons of Korah for their evil deeds. That's the story. So that just behooves me to make sure that I'm doing Tabah deeds. I don't want to be swallowed up in the earth, and I definitely don't want to see the point of a sword. If I'm going to die by the sword, it's because I'm already charging for the name of of Allah, for Yahweh Elohim. That's how I'm going to die by the sword. I'm not going to die by the sword because I went and did something evil to somebody else. No. If I got a choice in this, there's a charge for you. Spend your time daily, full time, practicing Tabah deeds amongst each other, and then exhort each other to do that with patience. Snapped on them, became unbuttoned. Don't make me unwind. You've unzipped the bag, cut the knot, severed the ties. Zip, zip, clip, clip. I think we've been told not to be quick to anger. I won't lie to you. I have a short fuse. It's hard to light it. But once you light it, you will not be putting it out, and there will be an explosion. And you're given a warning. It's just like what fuses do. It just pop, pop, fizzle, 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 fizzle. Oh, it's lit. Oh, kaboom. I'm very patient to the point of even letting you know when you're stepping on my patience. Now that's my pinky toe. By the time you get to my ankle, I'm probably gonna bite your nose. That's me. If you go to Juma on a Friday at a mosque, there will be a recitation of Al Fatiha. It's the first surah. And after that, there would be another surah said, and that's the part where everyone is standing. You say two surah. So the Imam would say, Basmillahi ar-Rahmani ar-Rahim, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, ar-Rahmani ar-Rahim, Maliki yawmiddin, Iyaka na'budu wa iyaka nasta'in, Ihdina sirata al-mustaqim, sirata alladhina an'amta alayhim, ghayril maghdubi alayhim, wala dallin. Amin. That is the one where everyone actually says it a little soft whisper just under your breath to where you can hear yourself talk. Your neighbor can actually hear you saying it, and you're following along with the imam. Why? Because when you walk in and you do your first two prostrations, the prostrations always start with Al Fatiha. So after we've all said that, then the imam could choose whichever surah. And then it's time for us to be quiet and listen because he's going to tell us what we're supposed to be going away with, right? Now, when he starts his khutbah, he might tell you that he's coming from Al Asha, Wal Asha, or he may be coming from just some topic of the day. And then later on, if you are astute, have a keen ear, and you can pick it up, you'll be able to decipher, Sefer, scroll. You will be able to pick up what he's reciting from. So really, that means, let's see here, you're going to say Al Fatiha twice by yourself. When you come in, you say Al Fatiha, you say a surah behind that. And then when you're bowing like this, you're really saying, I love the Lord, He heard my cry. And then you say, Praise the Lord, the most esteemed. Then you get on your knees, and that's when you say, All praises to our Father. And when you're on your knees and you're upright, it's when you would hear me say, Rabbi Shafirli, Wa Rahmani, Washbarni, Warfani, Warzukni, Wadini, Walfini, Allahu Akbar. Our Father, our great teacher, our sustainer, please grant us strength and mercy as we travel along the path and attain stature by doing Taba deeds on your divine path. Please forgive us for the times that we disappoint you and also teach us to forgive others the way you forgive us. Allah is the greatest. Subhanahu wa ta'ala. Our praises to our Father. Subhanallah. Subhanallah. I would stand up and do that again. I would say Al Fatiha, recite that. And then this time, instead of saying Al Asher, I would say a different one. I would say a different surah. So in this case, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, Kul, Ausu, Birabil Falak, Min Shari Makalak, Waman Shari Gasakini the Wakab, Waman Shari Nafatati Fil Ukad, Waman Shari Hasadin Ita Hasad. You have a prayer and praise just to say thanks for our Creator setting everything into place in balance. And then once again, you bow and you say, I love the Lord, hear my cry. All praise, Adon, the most esteemed. All praises are due to our Father. Then again, we go and we ask for strength and mercy as we go about our task for the day, as we proceed to step into our work. Allahu Akbar. Our Creator is the greatest. And then there is Tashahud. Tashahud is the closing. And this is a conversation. It starts as a conversation between Prophet Muhammad and Allah. And then at the end, the angels speak about Allah and Prophet Muhammad. Atayatu, Atayatu, Taibatu, Salawatu. I cannot offer you peace because Allah, you grant peace. Atayatu, Salawatu, Taibatu. Assalamu alaikum ayyuhan nabiyyu wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Allah says, I greet you with peace, my helper, with blessings and mercy. Assalamu alaikum wa abillahi salihin. Our Father, may your praises and blessings, excuse me, our Father, may your peace and blessings be upon the teachers and the martyrs and all believers before and after me. And then the angels say, Ashhadu anna ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasulullah. The angel said, there is no other worthy of worship except for Allah. And Muhammad is his Rasul, is his speaker, is his vessel, is his servant. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi. We have two angels that are in our presence, each of us. One writes down what you think. The other one writes down what you say and what you do. The only time they leave your side is when you go to sleep. And that's when they go back to report to Allah to say, this is the condition that we left them in. did this and that for the day. All right, we'll go back, protect the person, watch over 'em. It is said that when you pass away, while you are on your way up to go and meet with Allah, you are given time to prayer. And the more you pray, the more the angels will not only just give you respect, but the more they're going to give you that speedy way up. And the faster it goes is according to how much you've been praying throughout your life. How many times have you recited Al Fatiha? How many times have you recited any of the Psalms? And that's just not repeating them, that's living them. Because your prayer, your petition is your thought, and then you say it and do it. So, yes, the angels are watching us, and we're supposed to be doing our duties. Now, what in any of that was evil? What in any of that have you heard somebody talking about when they want to talk about Muslims? I don't play games with people that stand on the corners and argue with each other. I don't go and find people to debate. That's a distraction. I'll break something down for you. I don't watch sports. It's not my thing. I used to like to play. I like to play basketball, football every now and then, all that stuff. I'm not gonna go watch it. I don't know any of the players' names. I don't know their stats. We have been warned to stay away from coliseums and those activities. I do not want a running roster up here about anybody's statistics unless it's I got 3 stones in my pocket, I'm taking out a giant. Those are some stats you need to know about. I got 7 loaves of bread and 7 fish, and there's about 200 people. That's the stats you need to know about. Those same occurrences get spoken of in the Quran. A person who wants to tell you that a Muslim is evil is a person who ignores the principles of what it takes to be a Muslim, not what a person looks like. Do I look like Abraham? Do I look like Ishmael? Do I look like Melchizedek? I don't know. However, that's who I was trained to be. See that brand right there? It has nothing to do with me. I wanted my arms and my upper torso to be covered today. It's a shirt. The things that have come out of my mouth, the things that were manufactured in my brain, the things that were sent from Yahweh Elohim, Ravaka Kadesh, Ad Yashava HaMashiach, in order for me to say these things to you all, have nothing to do with the clothes that I have on. Have nothing to do with the fact that I shaved my face. It has to do with the fact that I pledged my life to be of service. Family, I'm going to say this on recording, and I'm going to be real honest with you. And I want you to take it back to your house and write this in your notebook too. I'm getting slapped in the face about 30 times right now because I keep seeing all these messages popping up, but I ain't seen nobody come into this room to at least say hello, except for two beloved sisters. And I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna make it known right now. I'm patiently waiting for Pentecost. I'm patiently waiting for the message. I'm patiently waiting for that list afterwards. Because there's a few things that I want to get off of my chest and out of my mind so that I can be at peace for all the questions that people keep asking. Let's get all of that straightened out because I got one main question. When are we all going to get active? When do we all jump up in Hazan Yahasharayal? Because I've been doing it and I'm waiting for everybody else. Yes, I'm very irritated. My brother Ben told me, you need to go and tell the people you're starving. Because I am. I'm humble. I'm starving. Talk about 15 to 20 pounds underweight. Strong as an ox. I'm starving. I have no money in my pockets. The things I do come from this phone. I took care of I don't know how much business before 12 o'clock today, woke up at 6 than most people will do on their laptop plus their tablet plus their phone and then go over to their neighbor's house. Because I'm driven. I wake up on a mission. That's also why I don't have that whole jovial attitude when people want to play. Because I wake up with 10 problems every day. And by the time the day is over, it's multiplied to 100. And I'm trying to figure out how to solve them. If you knew what goes on inside my head. Tell somebody that you're Hebrew. Oh, you mean you're Jewish? No. Oh, you're a Judah? No, I can't tell you that. Tell you I'm Avra. Matter of fact, I'll tell you exactly who I am. I am Safar. I know exactly who I am. Then I've been about my work. I get told when I'm not doing my work. I get shut down when I'm not doing my work. You are looking at an insomniac that will go 3 or 4 days to make sure things get done and then go look for something to crash out with. Don't tell me serotonin because serotonin is going to make me fall over somewhere and I don't know when I'm going to wake up and if I'm going to be able to function. So no, serotonin is not the answer. The answer is when is my people going to wake up and actually start doing something so I don't have to work overtime? So yes, you have homework. Write your 10 theses. Let's get these 10 theses together and start doing something about it. We're at the hour and 33-minute mark, which means we're probably at about a quarter to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you know what the scrolls are about, get up and live it. I've had people in this area that I'm in right now point me out, pull me to the side, and say, you know who you look like? No, you look like Black Jesus. Now, did I get offended or did I correct them and tell them the correct name and all of that? No, I laughed. My brother Ben said, Assalamu alaikum. And I said, Shalom al Barak. Do work. I send much love and respect To my sisters who have been standing by me the whole time. I send much love and respect to the brothers who have been standing by me the whole time. It's time to do more than stand. And for those who are not ready to actually get up and stand, I don't want you talking. I need you to come up with your resume. And I need for you to fire whoever this boss is that makes you talk so much. Because if you was working, you wouldn't have too much time to talk. See, there's a side to me that only shows sometimes. I'm stern all the time. I'll even joke with you. Bottom line is take care of business. I don't like it when I see people riding the clock. I didn't make it to the levels of responsibility that I've had by riding the clock. That goes in any principle in life. So when people start talking about I'm not this and I'm not that, and how dare they call me this and this and this, as Khaled Kofi says, if the shoe fits, wear it. If not, walk around here barefoot and get some business done. That's going to be what you're going to be hearing from me quite often. Get used to it. I'm here to remind you what hip hop really is. I'm here to remind you that a Muslim who practices Islam is doing the same thing that Adam was doing. I'm here to remind you our Messiah is not coming back to see if we're all kicked back and just praying and hoping and waiting. Our Messiah ain't coming back until we've actually started attempting to make a kingdom tangible. Because that's the only way it's going to be heard across this rock that we all share. There's too much arguing over silliness and not enough work being done. A few years ago, my mom looked at me and she said, I wish I could help you because you are depressed. I said, Mom, I'm not depressed. My brother came home from sitting down, looks at me, man, you're healthy, but you look down. You know how long I've been standing and pushing against two pillars? Holding back just enough. I'm going to leave you all with that. Selah. Yahweh, Ahava, Ahava, Ahava. Our Creator is love. Love is love. Put all that together, you got complete compassion. Amitabha, Amitofo. It's Japanese and Chinese for compassion. Yahweh, Shalom, Barak. Allah, Assalamu alaikum. Father's peace be with you. Much love and respect. Till next time.